Ever struggled to remember something you studied or learned just moments ago? You've studied for hours, yet the information seems to slip right through your fingers like sand. But what if I told you this very struggle to remember is actually the secret to faster, smarter learning? It sounds counterintuitive, right? But recent research suggests that forgetting can actually make you smarter, more efficient, and faster at learning new things. So let's dive into this surprising concept: why forgetting is, in fact, the key to mastering learning. First, let's break down how our brain processes information. Every time you learn something new, your brain creates a memory. But here's the catch: our memory isn't perfect. We forget things over time, which is totally natural. In fact, according to German psychologist 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐲𝐶 forgetting curve, we forget up to 70% of what we've learned within 24 hours. So why does this happen? Our brains are wired to prioritize what's most important for survival and daily tasks. If your brain held on to every single piece of information, it would be overwhelmed. So it filters out irrelevant details. But here's the twist: forgetting is not failure, it's an opportunity. When you forget something, your brain works harder to retrieve that information. It strengthens the neural connections required to access that memory. Think of it as your brain's version of a workout. The more you forget, the more it pushes itself to remember, making the learning process stronger and more durable. This process, called retrieval practice, is one of the most powerful tools for deepening learning. It's why simply rereading notes might not be as effective as you think. When you actively try to remember something, even if you don't succeed right away, you're reinforcing your brain's ability to recall it later. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Spacing out your learning, or the spacing effect, also plays a huge role in reinforcing memory. By allowing time for your brain to forget and then re-engage with the material, you're essentially training your brain to retain information for longer periods of time. For example, instead of cramming everything in one night, spread out your study sessions. Review the material after a day, then again after a few days, and then after a week. This spaced repetition forces your brain to recall and re-engage with the material at different intervals, strengthening your memory each time. This technique isn't just for school or exams. It's a learning strategy that can apply to any skill you're trying to master, whether it's learning a new language, playing an instrument, or even training for a sport. The key isn't to force yourself to remember everything instantly. It's to embrace the gaps in memory, because in those gaps lies the power to reinforce your learning. In fact, the more we forget, the more we need to engage our brains to remember. And this engagement is what leads to a deeper, more flexible understanding of what we've learned. It's not about memorizing facts or regurgitating information, but about developing the ability to recall and apply knowledge in new and creative ways. So next time you forget something, don't stress. See it as a sign that your brain is working, not a sign of failure. Embrace the forgetting process, use retrieval practice, and implement spaced repetition. You're not just learning, you're strengthening your brain and making yourself smarter, faster, and more adaptable. Another crucial aspect of forgetting is that it helps you learn through failure. When you forget or fail to remember something, it forces you to engage in problem solving. This failure can actually be the most powerful learning experience. Why? Because it challenges you to approach the material in a new way, often leading to better understanding. In fact, studies show that learning from failure improves critical thinking and creative problem-solving skills. When you don't immediately recall information, your brain is forced to dig deeper, analyze, and make connections that you might not have made the first time. So failure isn't a setback, it's a step forward. By forgetting and then re-engaging, you're actually giving your brain a chance to stretch, adapt, and grow stronger. Remember, the best breakthroughs often come after the hardest struggles. One more hidden benefit of forgetting is that it boosts cognitive flexibility. Cognitive flexibility is the brain's ability to switch between different concepts, ideas, or tasks. When you forget something and then attempt to retrieve it, your brain is essentially practicing this very flexibility. So go ahead, forget. It's the secret to becoming a better learner. And remember, in the process of forgetting, you're becoming smarter than you ever imagined.